Hi everybody, I apologize in advance for not having the energy as I typically do. Got some thing up here, like some surgery done earlier this morning for my gums, so I won't be yelling as much as I typically am, and it sort of feels a little swollen and hurts right now, but don't worry, we're still going to be talking sports nonetheless. Episode number 158, first things first, are the Cleveland Guardians. Led by guys like that home run derby participant right there, Jose Ramirez, and an all-star Jose Ramirez. Heading into the all-star break, the Guards sit at a 46-44 record. While that may sound mediocre, which to me it does, it's just 2 games out first place in the AL Central and 2.5 games out of the third wild card. We have a run differential of +5, as we have scored 391 runs and surrendered 386. Our record at home is 25-19, 21-25 on the road, and against teams over 500, it's 22-25. Here's something that's good for the Guardians. In extra innings, we have gone 7-2. So far, in my opinion, it could be worse, but it could be better for the Guardians. Somewhere in between. Hopefully, we can pick it up second half and surpass the Minnesota Twins as the leader in the American League Central. Let's look at the series recaps. First things first, Guardians against the Tigers. Or no, not Tigers. Guardians against the White Sox. As the, who do you call them, series was tied. Jose and Ahmed had 2 RBIs each in Game 2. Dylan Cease, 5.2 shutout innings in Game 3. Luis Robert hit a big 3-run home run in Game 3 as well. And Aaron Savali, one of the big stories in Game 4, he was injured after the first inning in a 2-1 loss. And that's what happened in Game 4. And so right here in this series that you're watching right now, as Jose's about to get an RBI single into right field, because that's exactly what Jose Ramirez is good at. And he's also good at advancing down second. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got contact. He can do everything. But anyways, against the Tigers, it was sweeping time once again.
Sweeping time. Gotta sweep, sweep, sweep.
Because the Guardians swept the Tigers 3-9. Josh Naylor and Andres Jimenez hit home runs in Game 1. Tristan McKenzie's Sticks was doing exactly what Sticks does best, and that is, 8 shutout innings, which is really unbelievable. 8 shutout innings and 5 hits. Game 1, I'm telling you, Tristan has just been on a tear lately. And this game right here, Owen Miller had an RBI triple in Game 2, and Josh Naylor had 2 RBIs with no hits in Game 2. So that's what happened there. And then the third game, Jose Ramirez had a 2-home run, 5 RBI game in Game 3. And Cal Quantrill had 6 shutout innings in said game. So that's what happened for the Guardians. Let's look at our upcoming schedule, because why not? Starts off tomorrow night when we play the White Sox. Oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 10, 11 straight road games. And it's not looking like the easiest road stand of all time, my friends, because it's the White Sox, which isn't that bad, and then Boston, which is hanging in the playoff scenario, and then Tampa, which is always going to be tricky. Fortunately, it gets a little easier when we play Arizona, but then a 4-game set against the Astros, and then the Tigers, and then the Blue Jays at the Rogers Center. I was at the Rogers Center last week. It's a pretty cool place. I mean, the roof is retractable, of course. That's pretty cool. And then Detroit, then Chicago, then the sliding San Diego Padres, and then a 4-game set against the mighty Seattle Mariners, who are hungry for their first playoff berth since 2001, the year they won 116 games. Then a 3-game set against the Baltimore Orioles, who have also been red hot lately, and then Seattle again, then Kansas City, Minnesota, Los Angeles, which should be easy, Minnesota, 5-game series, which is going to be huge, the White Sox, the Rangers, then the Rays, and then a 6-game stand against the Kansas City Royals to end the season. So that's what's up in the Cleveland Guardians schedule, as we are 46 and 44 once again, minus 162. We got 72 games to go till the season is over. Now it's time for the MLB All-Star Week, with the Home Run Derby, of course, being one of the big stories, with that man right there, Juan Soto, winning the Home Run Derby over Julio Rodriguez in the finals. First national since Bryce Harper in 2018 to win the Home Run Derby. Kyle Schwarber controversially lost Albert Pujols in the first round. Of course, I believe that ESPN and the Home Run Derby did not count a home run for him. That should have gone out of here, but I think later on it was revealed that the home run didn't get out. So, regardless, it's something that he and probably a lot of Phillies fans will be complaining about for a while. Jose, our good pal Jose Ramirez, lost Juan Soto in the first round. A grand total of 291 bombs were hit during the Home Run Derby. Pujols had almost advanced to the final round before Juan Soto put him out of his misery with a victory. Soto was the fourth seed, and Pete Alonso's hopes and dreams of three-peating died to J-Rod. Of course, J-Rod had more home runs than anyone else with 81, and I'm pretty sure that we might see a rematch in the finals next year when Juan Soto plays Julio Rodriguez. Of course, Julio's probably going to be in the Home Run Derby next year, considering the fact that it's in Seattle. So we'll see what happens there. All-Star game. It was fun. It was festive. It was pretty exciting. And it was an American League win 3-2. It's the 9th year in a row that the junior circuit takes home the All-Star game. Framber Valdez won it. Tony Gonsolin lost. Emmanuel Clase, our good pal Emmanuel Clase, picked up the save, which is always a good thing because he's a Guardian. Sorry about this, just need to look something up. But Giancarlo Stanton won All-Star Game MVP for hitting a game-tying home run in the fourth, which was a 2-run shot. And then Clase struck out the side on 10 pitches. That's right, 10 pitches. Here's Shohei getting picked off at first. Of course, Shohei, probably one of the greatest athletes in baseball history by now, considering the fact that he can pitch and hit. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that the Angels still can't win, despite the fact that they have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. That, my friends, is very depressing. But you know what? The Angels do it every year. So why act surprised? I'm not surprised that the Angels are doing bad this year. I'm not surprised at all. Only 4 extra base hits in the game, 3 of them being home runs. Paul Goldschmidt hit a home run, speaking of which, and it was in the bottom of the first inning. And Byron Buxton hit a go-ahead home run in the fourth inning. The NL was held without a hit in between most of the game, which was kind of something odd. Jose Ramirez went 2 for 2 with a run scored, thanks to Giancarlo hitting a home run. And there's Andres with a great behind-the-back flip for a double play. Forgot to mention that, because Andres Jimenez is definitely one of the best second basemen in the game, and it's safe to say that we won that trade in which we sent Francisco Lindor to the Mets. And once again, is Francisco Lindor an all-star? Nope. Is Andres Jimenez an all-star? Yep, he is. Jose did commit an error out at third during the All-Star game, and Stanton's home run came in the fourth inning. In fact, all the American League runs came in the fourth, and all the National League runs came in the, first inning. Of course, my little brother was playing MLB The Show. MLB The Show, and did the All-Star game with these rosters, and I think the American League won 7-6. Of course, real baseball fans don't play MLB The Show. They play MVP Baseball instead, because MVP Baseball is truly better and a much greater experience than what you'll ever get when compared to MLB The Show. It's not a bad game, MLB The Show, but it's not that good. I'd rather play MVP, but I'm pretty sure most folks know that by now. NASCAR time, the Ambetter 301. Christopher Bell wins it. It's his second. What?
You forgot Classe struck out the side.
You're right, he did. And he almost did in an immaculate inning, which was awesome. He got the first 6 pitches to be strikes, and then this one right here to get Jake Cronenworth, 99 miles per hour. Emmanuel Classe, way better than Clay Holmes. Everybody knows that. I'm telling my brother and dad, who are Yankees fans, that Clay Holmes, even though Clay Holmes is good, Holmes is not, and Emmanuel Classe. Anyways, the Amber 301, Christopher Bell won. It's his second win of the season, and he punches his ticket to the playoffs. Martin Truex Jr. won the first 2 stages. 4 out of the top 6 drivers were Toyotas, which is definitely something because Toyotas are the smallest cars represented out there. Chase Elliott in second place by 5.767 seconds. Bubba Wallace and Martin Truex finished in third and fourth. There was a crash just 5 laps into the race. Harrison Burton, Corey LaJoie, and Michael McDowell got into an accident on lap 89. Ryan Blaney spun out midway through the race. Chase Briscoe spun out a few laps later. Todd Gillian spun on lap 205. And to call it an exciting race is definitely an understatement because it was very fun to see who was going to win it and what was going to happen. Well, folks, we're not done just yet because we need to look at the high school football season because high school football is a lot of fun, as we all know, as we're going to watch Christopher Bell run away with this one. Look at that lead over Chase Elliott. 5 seconds. Everyone else way far behind. Look at that. Bubba 12 seconds back. Martin 13 and a half. And Chase Elliott who did a good job. All these racers did a good job, but Christopher Bell just put them way far behind. And that was the story. Anyways, high school football predictions. Let's look at them because why not? It starts off with, what do you call it? Independence. That's who I was looking at. Now, unlike the other leagues in which I have them ranked based off, what do you call them, how good they're going to be, these independents are just based off how well is just based off like what they're going to do this year. You can see St. Ed's, the defending D1 champions, at 9-1 record. Archbishop Hoban, which I believe were the runners-up last year to Winton Woods, 8-2 in Division II. Benedictine Bengals, St. Ignatius Wildcats, and St. Vincent St. Mary each can go 7-3. Massillon Washington 8-2. Canton Central Catholic 6-4. Lutheran East Falcons also 6-4. One of the things about the Independents is that they all get to play some very interesting schools. They get to play, they're not just limited to Northeast Ohio. Take St. Ed's schedule, for example. They're playing a school in Pittsburgh. They're playing a school in Colorado. They're playing a school in Canada. They're playing a school in Maryland. They're playing a school in 2 schools in Cincinnati, Elder and Archbishop Moore. Archbishop Moore, I think, is going to be their lone loss of the season, but if they win, I wouldn't be surprised because, well, St. Ed's is pretty good. And there are only 3 Northeast Ohio games for the, who do you call them, St. Ed's Eagles. That's Massillon, Washington at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. That's on the 16th of September. And then on the 1st of October, it is going to be against St. Ignatius at St. Ignatius. And then on the 21st of October, the last game of the season, it will be against Archbishop Hoban, which those 3 schools are also independents as well. And of course, looking at Archbishop Hoban, they also play St. Ignatius, and they play the Benedictine Bengals, who are located in also the, what do you call it, Independence. How could I possibly forget? Of course, Northeast Ohio Zone's top 25 polls are preseason top 25 polls are almost complete. It is almost there. Looking at it on Twitter at NEO Zone. He's got Mentor at number 5 right now. Of course, Mentor trying to recover from a tough season last year. But I think they should win the, the GCC this year. Of course, GCC getting Cleveland Heights and Shaker Heights next year. And then there's the Metro Athletic Conference. The Woodridge Bulldogs, I think, are going to win it with a 6-1 record. Then three-way tie for second place with Norton, Cloverleaf, and Ravenna. Streetsboro going to finish in 5th. Coventry in 6th, Field in 7th, Springfield in 8th. And of course, I'm looking at this. The big game is going to be Woodridge-Norton, in my opinion. And of course, you got Norton-Ravenna as well. That'll be a fun one. But Norton-Woodridge, I have a feeling that whoever comes out on top in that game on September 16th, whoever wins that game is definitely going to be the MAC champions that year. At least that's what I think. Of course, Streetsboro on October 7th, that's when they play Woodridge. So that is basically everything that's been going on with the high school football. And now time for some more talk about the my efforts to continue to get ESPN to commentate the BW Mount Union game. I got John Buchagras of ESPN Sports Center and a Heidelberg graduate, which I don't understand why he went to Heidelberg when he could have gone to the oldest and greatest college in America, Baldwin Wallace. But he said that I emailed this idea to him, and he said that he'll pass it on to the college game day producers, and they loves the idea. And they has zero pull. He is a humble broadcaster, but we can dream. But you know what? That would be really cool if he can do it. That'd be really cool if they can actually say, you know what? Maybe we should take a break from D3 athletes or D1 athletes, because D3 athletes, as I always say, like Ronnie Dangerfield, don't get no respect. John was playing some Ronnie Dangerfield clips earlier today. I know that. It was pretty funny. But yeah, that is it. I think that's all the time we've got. Till then, I'm Tommy Maroon. Goodbye, everyone.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.